Welcome to 2019 and the Weekend Fan Club. This is a special bonus episode because we love you.
Yeah.
Because we love
you gonna make a special intro for this?
I can. You want me to?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, sick, dude.
Best of 2018.
I want you to do your cinematic chord that you found.
Oh, okay.
That in
Yep.
there.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
sick.
doing it in.
So yeah, this is a special episode of Weekend Fan Club where we decide that 2018's been a year and we have things that were favorites. So we're gonna discuss them now, and we're gonna start with music because I feel like that's gonna be a big one for everyone except me.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good musics to come out this year. Here are the top whatever. These aren't in any order. This is just stuff we like. Music. Go.
Connor, you go first.
Connor.
Do you want to? I guess we don't have to go through all of the. I'm just thinking we'll say maybe 3 each, and then
I don't even have that.
see if you have anything to
so
say about it.
Just hit us with what
'Cause
you
I
got.
couldn't-
Just wing it, man. Just go for
I
it.
couldn't be bothered to rank number wise,
Nah,
so I just
freak that.
kind of listed
Freak
everything.
that.
Same. I did the exact same
But
thing.
I think I can narrow each to definitely 3 that are up top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Oh, okay, so music wise, 3 would be this band called Good Tiger. Their album "We Will All Be Gone."
Nice.
It's very cool. They kind of changed the second album now, and they've kind of settled into a way more chilled out rock sound. They're all from metal bands, but in this one, they've ditched screaming. Their songs are pretty straightforward. It's a very easy listen, and it's very rewarding. It's still got their style too. They've got a lot of spice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I have a single and B-side by a band called Trico from Japan. I don't know if I showed you them or not.
Yeah, I think
The Japanese math rock band.
Yeah.
They're so wonderful. They put out a single called Potage. It's excellent. They also did an Audio Tree live recording that was really, really good.
And number 1.
Then a third. Oh, these aren't in order.
Oh, I
These are
know.
just 3. The other one's by a band called The Ocean that I've been following for a while. They do all sorts of weird. They're all concept albums with lots of cool. You might be able to get into this because they've done ones like anthropocentric and heliocentric about humans being center of the universe and the sun being center of the universe, and about the religion and science battle of hundreds of years ago.
That's so cool.
They did an album. Did Quinn ever show you the ocean album where you start at the surface of the ocean and you go down?
No.
The album's
I
about
think,
an-
yeah, he
It's
showed
about
me
an
that
hour
one.
long. It
Yeah.
starts off very nice and floaty with piano at the top of the ocean, and as you go down, the album gets heavier and slower
That's friggin'
and more
sick.
tense.
Oh, yeah, that
Until you
is
get to
like-
the bottom, when you get the very last track is almost comedically just slow
But
and
it's-
heavy, and it feels like you're being crushed
But
by
it's
the
so
ocean.
aesthetic. If you were to in terms of concept for albums, that one is pure
It is
gold.
exactly. It's one of the best executed concept albums as a whole. And so they put out a new one this year called. It's got a big stupid name.
It starts with a P, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah,
Phanerozoic.
This Phanerozoic, Paleozoic. It's part 1 of 2. This is supposed to bridge their old stuff about prehistory, and there's stuff about humans and the eccentric stuff by bridging, because this is about big mass extinctions and all that stuff.
Nice.
But then I read this review about the album that was really cool and almost illuminating, where they talk about how with the ocean you can nerd about these details and you can be one of those guys and you think, oh, but there's no actual soul in the music. The music's gonna be boring. But they actually, through nice relatable lyrics and stuff, it's also music worth listening to, and it's sort of emotionally intense and you can connect with it. And then there's also this whole theme with the album where it's about mass extinctions and everyone being fucked, that it's kind of relatable in our current age with the impending threat of climate change.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing.
Nice.
That's what I like about that album.
Those are nice picks.
Nice picks.
Nice picks, dude.
What are your albums?
When I thought about the album of the year, I kind of thought, I'm not looking for a masterpiece work. I'm just looking for an artist to have a thought, expand on that thought, and make it his best work. So my number one, Astroworld, Travis Scott.
Oh, I have a story about that. I was at Oshiega the night that album dropped, and Travis Scott headlined and was supposed to play, but he got held up at the border, so it was like an hour or so of everyone just waiting there at the festival, and I dipped because I didn't know who Travis Scott was. I don't know how upset you are about that.
Oh man!
I could have seen him play the night Sicko Mode dropped. No! And I left.
Connor!
Amazing.
I've heard a lot about him since.
Yeah.
That album was huge.
This was a good moment.
Yeah, it's a 19-track album. It's massive.
Jesus fucking Christ.
19
There is
track.
no need.
Well, here's the thing. Quavo Huncho put out a solo album, also 19. A year after
These better be short fucking tracks.
No, not at all.
Blech.
At least 3 minutes each.
Wow.
But yeah, Astroworld was my number one pick because it turned me towards Travis Scott. Because the previous Travis Scott I heard was just like, it's pretty, it's casual rap, right? Now, I'm not saying Astroworld is not casual rap. It doesn't really serve a political, theatrical, intellectual basis. But the work that he does behind it is phenomenal. Like the mixing and producing and just the craftsmanship behind the songs are amazing. Because every single track has its own character. That's 19 characters.
Yeah.
And it's based upon an abandoned theme park where he grew up, right? And he based the album around it, and he took this concept and he made it this, relic that we'll have for a long time, right? And there's some banger tracks on it too, right? And my second pick, completely different end of the spectrum, is Mumford & Sons' new album that they put out. I can't remember the name. I don't know if it was Guiding Light.
They had a new album.
Did they go electric recently, or is that
the album before that? Their album before that did not do as well. They went more electric. This album, they're returning more to their roots.
Okay.
But I feel like this is peak Mumford & Sons.
Okay.
Because there's, their incredible vocal arrangements, but there's also the driving rhythm of the more electric sound that they created. I don't think anything's going to beat their first album. That album was phenomenal. But this album, it served a purpose for me because when I listened to their songs, it kind of challenged what I thought of okay, what's, considered to be secular music and what's considered to be Christian music too, because there's a lot of imagery there that, relates to both. And, I'm a big fan of that, of breaking down the walls between that's secular music in the church.
Yeah.
We don't listen to that here. I'm go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
That could be anything you want.
Exactly.
It's music.
And Mumford & Sons does it well because Mumford & Sons has a lot of connections to the Christian faith. I think it's Marcus Mumford. I don't know if that's his name, but one of the main people in Mumford & Sons, his parents run a megachurch in the States.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
One of the sons.
One of the sons, yeah. Probably, or whatever. No, that would be just Mumford. Yeah, that would just be Mumford, yeah.
Oh, Mumford's the church and the sons of the band?
Yeah, basically, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of imagery there that was yo, I'd play this, at a church, just mingling music, right? Just to, have it be, a nice neutral tune, but, it has, stuff that we can talk about in it, but it also has grooves. And I'm just a big fan of that. And I'm also a big fan of tight vocal arrangement and, good lyricism. Good lyricism.
Good old-fashioned lyricism.
Good old-fashioned lyricism. Final album, I think, for me, was the one that I helped produce with my band.
I was literally just thinking, should I make sure that we drop an honorable mention to Jacob's album this year?
I'm not saying this is
my number one album's...
I am incredibly proud of...
It's a dry jack.
It is a dry jack, and it's going everywhere. I'm incredibly proud of the work that me and my friends put into that album. And it was an incredible experience to like do something like that. And I'm pretty proud of how young I accomplished that. I was a part of an album at the age of 21, like a fully professionally produced
honest to goodness
album.
The polish and like the slick recording of the album actually sort of like impressed. Like it's like indistinguishable from if you were to pick some professional CD off the shelf.
And we were really blessed to have, a technician behind us that is a top-notch technician and really believed in us and really challenged us as musicians to, go balls out for our parts. And I've never played music the way I played when we were doing recording. Yeah. And that was because of our technician.
I'm not even gonna lie though. I remember when the album came out, it came out on Spotify, and I was like, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it because I know because I was like, I know it's like you play a lot of with your church and stuff, and I was like, this is gonna be kind of secular. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna. And I went in fucking blown away, Jacob. I loved it. I was like, holy shit!
Because
I was like, this is actually really good.
We were like,
I wasn't saying it was gonna be bad, but I was like,
whoa! It's not your like speed, right?
No, I was expecting something. Well, I know what I was expecting.
Exactly.
I was just like, whoa!
Right, like
just really good.
When
fucking
we went
hands down, great.
To write like our songs. I really struggled to explain like what kind of band we are because like we're not a Christian band, but we're not a funk band, but we're not like a secular band. We're just music.
Yeah.
And so people are like, but
you gotta pick one time,
right? So I'm like, shit. But my buddy who's the lead man, I talked to him like, how do you describe our music to people that ask you? And he summed it up perfectly. It was like, man, I just tell people that we write music about stuff we love. We love our partners, we love our friends, we love where we live, and also we love Jesus. So we're gonna write a few songs about Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like,
fuck yeah.
Damn, man! That is lit. And that's what I use when like people are like, oh, so you're in a band, what kind of music do you play? I was like, man, I play music that I love. And they're like, what do you mean by that? And then I tell them and they're like, oh shit, alright. And
they're just like, man, that's so nice. What does it sound like though?
Well, yeah. And then I kind of just break it down into genres. Like it's an alternative pop with a little bit of soul, a little bit of funk. There's just a little bit.
There's a little bit of something for everyone.
A little bit of something for a lot of people, and I'm really proud of that. And yeah, that's really my top 3 albums because two of those albums kind of influenced me because. It's like, okay, here's Travis Scott, who's a renowned producer, mixer, rapper, artist. This is the kind of production that I would dream to have. Mm-hmm. Then there's Mumford & Sons, who write songs, and they're also incredible producers, la-da-da-da-da. But they're also writing songs that are ambiguous. And for me, ambiguity in songwriting is incredibly vital. Mm-hmm. Because it allows... a large
you gotta give them another reason to listen to it again.
Exactly.
And again.
You gotta give people a lot of reasons to listen to it.
Yeah.
And like those two, obviously they came out after, or I started listening to it after we finished writing, but that's something that has inspired me going forward and writing new stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what music is for, is challenging us as people and musicians to one musician does this is like, oh, okay, this is where I want to be because I want to do stuff like this. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Those are my albums. And honorable mention to Hobo Johnson. Hobo Johnson's probably like, if we're going to take out my album, Hobo Johnson. Look him up.
Yeah.
I've heard little snippets of his songs and people talking about him.
It's incredibly unique.
Yeah, because
he's a bozo.
It's incredible how he does it, and you're like, that's actually, it's like how it shouldn't be compelling. Like,
exactly.
You should listen to it and be like,
what the fuck is this?
Like,
yeah. But it's so compelling. But we're gonna go down that rabbit hole of Hobo Johnson, and just try it.
Yeah,
it's an experience to listen to his album and really think about what he's saying as an artist. But Quinn,
Hi.
What are your top 3 albums of 2018?
I have no wholesome or meaningful picks.
Okay.
Even remotely close to Jacob's.
I was really hoping
I-
he would, and then it would get to me and be like, I liked this song because the
In
guitar
terms
went
of music,
ding-a-ding-a-ding.
when I think about the music
guitar to go
that
strum.
came out this year, when I think about the music that came out this year that I listened to, it was all... There were a lot of artists that I followed for a long time that put out releases this year, and they're very much business as usual albums.
That's true.
Like,
Even the Ocean one to an extent, like it's really good, but it doesn't blow
Yeah,
the other
and,
albums
like,
out of the water.
so like, I guess my first pick, Between the Buried and Me, their 2-part album Automata.
Yep.
Like,
Did that come out in 2018?
yeah,
Yeah.
early.
Both
Oh, that's super cool. I thought that was like
Um,
late to the scene, or at least I thought it was late to the scene.
It's, I mean, like, it's super tight, you know, they're, like, the metal production on it sounds sick, because, like, the way it's structured in 2 albums, like, part 1 can stand on its own, but is greatly improved by the second. The second doesn't stand on its own quite as well, but, you know, the way they're similar and different is, like, the more you listen to it, the more you're like, yeah, this had to be 2 projects. And you can, like, the through line is really cool.
I'm excited to get into that one because I haven't listened to a whole lot yet. I listened to one
And
a
I
fair
mean,
bit.
I had to try to get into it a little
Well,
bit.
that's just the way Between the Buried and Me is. Like, you have to put in
Yeah.
work to get the reward.
Yeah.
You can't just listen to it.
And, like, the vibe is really cool. Like, their last one they put out, it had a very, like, retro sci-fi kind of vibe. Like a 60s sci-fi serial or something. This one feels like a dark, gritty, modern sci-fi metal album.
Oh, shit.
Which, you know, aesthetically, very key for me this year. I got into a lot of sci-fi this year.
You deep dives.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one. Young the Giants released Mirror Master. I really got into, but again, that was
It's
Kinda-
business as usual.
business as usual.
But you know what? It didn't beat America.
Oh, absolutely not. The
America.
last album, Home of the
What an
Strange,
album.
That thing blew my mind. Because that one was a huge stylistic shift for them.
Yeah.
And you could kind of see the reason why that album turned out the way it did, because they had their first one where they had these 2 big radio hits and all the success, and then their second one they went too big too soon,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of
They blew
see
their wad too
that they
quick.
were like, this
Yeah.
third one, we got to start ground up, we're
Yeah.
making a new sound, it's gonna be tight, the album's
Was it
shorter,
tight?
it's more stylish, it's got more of a unified message to it. And this one, it has all that good stuff from this one, but, you know, they did it already.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a different message and some different themes to it that are interesting. I also saw them live this year.
That's super cool. I gotta
Which
be
was
honest.
super
like,
cool.
Shout out to that.
Absolutely, like, one of the best concerts I've ever been to, especially in terms of concert experience. Because, like, most of the concerts I've seen, it's either, like, a local band, or it's, like, a family trip going to see this massive stadium band where you're miles
Yeah.
away from the artist. This was, like, a really good mid-level band. You're on the floor, it's packed, you can't move, but it doesn't matter. And, yeah, that was sick, which kind of, you know, plays into, like, how the album, like, was meaningful to me throughout the year in terms of just, I listened to it a lot. And my third pick is gonna be the Good Tiger one, like Connor's was. I've been thinking about it recently. That one came out early in the year too, so I think I've been underappreciating it when I've been thinking about the best of the year. Because I remember when it came out, I was like, alright, here are the bangers, and here are the other tracks, I'm kinda into it. But throughout the year, every song on that album has become a banger to me.
It's one of those. There's been a few. Like, I've had a few over the years, but that was the one like that for me this year.
Yeah. And the closer on this album, it's titled I'll Finish This Book Later. The more I listen to it, the more it's like, it's a beautiful piece, honestly.
That one captures this thing that I look for.
It is.
It's like
And you know,
it's like the Kid A thing, the Carnival Asymmetry thing of just this melancholy. You know when you're like upset and you feel the weight and you like sigh and you just.
it really is like you're
So like, when you say melancholy, like, are you like, is it an appreciation for the melancholy, or is it like, wow?
Yeah,
It's like it puts you in the melancholy.
Oh,
And
that's
it's like-
that's
if you
kind of
like
romantic
the song,
too.
if you like the song,
Oh, it is. It's like it's titled I'll Finish This Book Later, and it's got some like it's got some lyrics that kind of have this kind of bookish
I
feel.
love that title, by the way.
It feels
I fucking love
like
that.
man, it's got a vibe. It feels like sitting home alone. You had no plans.
Right.
You're just kind of sitting. You're like, I'm gonna cross something off my bucket list. I'll flick to Netflix. I'll watch a movie I've been meaning to see for a while.
Right.
Curl up in a blanket, just sit here, have a good night to myself.
Okay.
It's kind of sad, but it's like heartwarming.
It's melancholy.
Yeah.
It's a sadness that is satisfying.
And you feel kind of comfortable. You're like, are things okay? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm gonna sit here.
But you're gonna be okay with not knowing.
Exactly.
And musically, like the composition is great. I think it's the guitarist contributes vocals to it, and this is the only song where he does. And so it's got this like change of pace.
Yeah. And his voice is much more because the normal singer is a very high range voice, and it's very much more in your face voice. But this other guy is a much more relaxed tone.
Yeah.
And in the way, then it also does this thing where it's like very, very light, just guitars, and becomes very suddenly heavy when the whole band kicks in. But as part of this melancholy thing, and other music that does it too, like Kid A Carnival, is that it's loud, but it doesn't feel like angry or emotional. It feels like a numb, dull heavy.
It's like it is a very like. It's heavy in the sense that it's like weight. It's like emotional weight on you. And then after the song ends, it's lifted off and you're like, oh,
Okay.
thank Christ.
Okay.
It's
That's
like-
very interesting.
Yeah, and like, you know, it might not hit you the first listen. Cause
gotta lean
it's one
into
of
it?
the ones where I was like, I don't know how I feel about this closer. It's weirdly structured, but
Yeah. But then you have like a weird night, and you're by yourself, and you listen to the album, and you get to it, and it just...
it's
Right.
like when you need it, it's exactly what you need.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Those are good picks.
Alright, thanks, man.
Those are good picks. I'll say to your thing about a lot of the albums being business as usual and that is that I think last year we did a podcast about our favorite stuff, and
We
I
did.
said my favorite album was the Contortionist album, and thinking back,
Great album.
I don't love any album this year as deeply, or feel as deep a connection
Yeah.
as that one.
That
And-
album is
and you know-
very unique.
Yeah.
2017, you know, like, for me, that felt like a really weird year for me musically. Like, I remember
Yeah.
near the end, I was getting into Lord's melodrama. Like, Lord was not an artist I really listened to. And, like, the main albums I remember me and John talking about were the Atomic Blonde soundtrack and the Baby Driver soundtrack.
Yeah, and that was it.
Those
It was
were-
like
Yeah.
soundtracks were
Yeah,
there.
soundtracks
instead
were
of anything
big.
else.
Like, it was a weird year. It's like, these are my picks. What the fuck?
Though I've got two notes. One is that I think part of that could also be the emotional roller coaster of a year it was for me. Changes the... I find that you like latch on to media more when you're...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the other thing is soundtracks this year. I have two other They'll loop back when we talk about movies, maybe. But
yeah.
actually, I'll wait for movies. I'll talk about these
Alright.
soundtracks.
John, time to go. Here,
I wish I was articulate enough to talk about why I
Can I
like
be honest?
Dude, don't worry,
I thought my picks were gonna be a hot mess. They turned out okay.
It turned out way better.
We're gonna get to games later.
Yeah, John, you're gonna smoke. You're gonna bring the
Yeah,
smoke
I'm
to
gonna
the
would-
game section.
Like, and I'm not even joking when I say, like, we've joked about it before where, like, you guys are so articulate in why you like your music, and I'm just like, I like it when the guitar goes strum. And that's really it.
Dude,
It's like,
dude, when we get to games, I'm gonna talk for 30 seconds about Celeste, then I'm handing
yeah,
it
I
off to you.
know.
Yeah.
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
I picked 5, and it was hard for me to pick 5 because I listened to a lot of old stuff too, because I wanted to specifically have things that came out this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2018, and you know what? Fucking Ninja Sex Party's Cool Patrol was a good fucking album.
Solid pick,
Alright?
dude.
All
That's
right.
the one
Is
with
that
Danny,
the
don't you know?
Finn Wolfhard one?
Yeah, that was their newest album, and like that was their first, not counting their cover albums, where they had Torp as their backing band, and it shows.
Oh, the
Their
production
their,
on
their
that.
production value is
From the songs I've
way
heard, the
better
production
now.
is tight.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, another band my friend got me into was Beartooth.
Oh, I heard their first album.
Yeah, they had a new album called Disease, and there's a song on that, like the title song Disease, and Clever.
Yeah.
Clever is probably my favorite song on that fucking album.
Beartooth's really good. Do you know that their singer was the singer for Attack Attack?
Yeah.
The crabcore guy.
That's why I was like...
But he's actually really
and then I
fucking
heard it,
good.
I was like, oh shit!
Beartooth is really good. It made sense that they had some sort of deal with Red Bull because they're just like full raw energy.
Yeah, no, they really are. It's really good. Then it was I was gonna pick like, see like two of my more favorite artists didn't have albums this year. They kind of just had EPs.
Mhm.
Hey, man.
Like
I listed a single.
EPs count.
yeah, no, like Macross had Summer Touch, which came out, which was really good. Just very like chill, kind of future funk sort of deal, which was really good. It had like a thing with Flamingosis, which was nice. It's slowly. Skylar Spence is slowly becoming my favorite artist of all time, and I don't know why.
Who the fuck is that?
Skylar Spence, he used to do a lot of vaporwave future funk stuff, and he went under the name of Saint Pepsi.
Sick.
And then he changed his name for legal reasons, obviously. But man, I am really digging. He had one album, I think he had another album with someone else. And I can't remember what it was called, but he had an album by himself. It was called Prom King, and it's fucking fire. I love that album so much. But he had an EP that came out, and it was called Carousel Cry Wolf, and it had 2 songs, Carousel and Cry Wolf. And Carousel literally was on like my Spotify, like probably my #1 played.
Nice.
And I was like, I didn't realize. Like, it's one of those songs where you didn't realize how many times you've listened to it.
Oh yeah.
And it's still just as good as the first time you've heard it.
Yeah, I've had.
I love it.
Those.
So good. Also, an honorable mention was Joji Ballads 1. Because Joji has no fucking right to be that. I listened to that guy when he made Filthy Frank music, and I thought that was just good for the sake of being funny.
Man.
And then he started making real music, and I was like, this has no right to be this good.
Slow Dancing in the Dark.
Slow Dancing in the Dark and fucking Midsummer Madness.
You know, I got to Slow Dancing
And
in the
Will
Dark,
He?
and I was just like,
What?
oh, who are you?
Yeah, right? I was like, this has... And, like, me being not a fan of Filthy Frank, but just aware of who he was before...
I don't even know who that is.
No?
I know. Was he Jojo was a YouTuber.
He was Filthy Frank.
Okay.
Remember that guy in the pink morph suit who would
Wait,
scream?
Joji is the Filthy Frank.
He's Filthy
Not
Frank.
One of his friends.
No. He is Filthy Frank.
And his music's really good.
And that's why I said it's an honorable mention, because it has no right being that guy. Like, it's insanely
The
good.
way John first described Filthy Frank to me was, I've never seen someone so proud of making the worst content imaginable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Harlem Shake? He
Yeah,
started
he made
that.
that. Yeah. Because I watched the
Oh, I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he
the
started
Hot
Harlem
Ones,
Shake.
the Hot Ones interview that he had.
Yeah.
What a great segment, by the way.
Hot Ones.
That's
is-
a
Hot Ones
quality
is fun.
show.
Hot Ones is a quality
Something
show.
about eating those hot peppers brings something out.
I
of
want to
people.
be cynical about it, because it's the same thing over, but it's...
But it's a great
and the whole-
interview scheme.
Shout out to the host. He's a wholesome dude.
He is a wholesome dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, good dude. I hope he doesn't get 2017.
I don't know why he would, but now I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't believe people are still getting
So that's
2017.
my music.
All right, let's go to
I don't
movies.
want to rush us, but like they're 27 minutes in and we haven't even
Yeah,
touched movies
movies.
yet.
I mean,
Movies
this
are
is a
game.
bonus episode. It can go.
Fair enough.
arbitrarily
Yeah.
long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, movies. Connor, what did you like?
All right.
Well,
movies
I like
can-
the threes, so let's stick with the
Let's
threes.
stick-
And movies, I had a 3 already.
That's
and I
good.
did my post. So that's pretty convenient.
Mm.
So
I am gonna check my list.
first, I'm gonna say, and this will probably come up at least 2 other times, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah!
Holy
I
shit!
have to see it.
You really do.
The movie is still in theaters.
I know.
Deserve
I've
it.
seen it twice.
Deserved Golden Globe winner for best
Oh,
animated
yeah.
feature.
yes.
It is the short version. My hot take in the theater was that it's better than every MCU movie, but it might be because I'm kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
Visually, at least, absolutely. true.
Visually? 100%.
Thor Ragnarok is the only one I could think of that even compares.
Yeah.
You know what? I would say Black Panther is better visually, but I think Thor Ragnarok hits
Thor
more
Ragnarok
beats than Black Panther.
It's very stylish.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know if
got
I don't
very
know if
intense
it, again, I've never seen the movie. I don't know if it's better, but like it's not that I didn't like
It's
the visuals of Black Panther more than anything else. If anything, it was just refreshing. It was a breath of fresh air because it was just like,
for sure.
oh my
It had a lot.
god.
And even on the level of like it has a conflict and a stuff that is actually material. Like you can actually instead of
The
just like
stakes are
I'm
real.
gonna fight for my. It's
Yeah.
like there's actual
The stakes are real.
not the kind of political like anyways. That's not even on my list.
So yeah, Spider-Verse.
So the other thing, so like visually, like every single frame is vibrant and beautiful and has all this energy.
It's definitely one of those films where you could pause it at any point and frame it on a wall.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's
is-
great. I love
And the
that.
performances are all great. It has like a real, like, actually, like, touching story. It's just, everything about that movie. Next there is...
Starts with an M.
I can't remember. I thought I had one in between, but whatever. Next is Mandy. We can go on this train for a while.
Never watched it.
Still have to see it.
I watched it for
Really
the second
upset.
time recently. It holds up, though I fell asleep because it was really late.
Disclaimer.
So, I had discovered this movie from like a recommendation podcast, and I was talking to you guys about it. I was like, "What's the deal with this movie? Is it good? It sounds kind of interesting." Then we went to see it in the theaters, and it was like, holy shit! It's you saw it, right, John? Or did you see it?
I still have to.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually waiting to buy it because honestly, it sounds like one of those movies I'm
It came
probably
out
just gonna
digitally
own.
the same time it did in theaters.
Yeah.
And I saw a physical copy at a Walmart when I was checking
A
all the.
Walmart.
I went to like many WalMarts one day, very close to Christmas. We don't have to talk about it.
It's fine.
But I saw a copy of it. They're out there.
Cool.
But yeah, Mandy.
But it's like it is an intense roller coaster. It's everything because it starts with like at least half an hour of just this incredibly slow wash of aesthetic and like not much happening, but you're kind of like living in this world. It's like a music video, but then it takes a turn. It's a revenge movie at the center, and it gets ultra violent, like blood everywhere. And at the center of it is this Nick Cage performance that goes absolutely everywhere.
Oh.
See, I feel like that's exactly what he needed.
It is. It's because
Oh,
Nick Cage.
yeah.
Nick Cage he will give you what you give him.
The
Yeah.
thing is, we're living in like kind of a post Nick Cage world where we all know Nick Cage and the Nick Cage aesthetic, and this movie embraces it wholeheartedly.
It's
Absolutely.
like this movie's written around him, huh?
Yep. Also
God
like
damn.
it.
It's written with him in mind. I like it.
So that's a lot of fun. Definitely worth watching. But then the side tangent with that is that I then looked at the director, Panos Cosmatos. I looked at his work because I wanted to see more. He has one other movie from 2011 called Beyond the Black Rainbow that I also got really into, and I've been telling everyone to watch, and not a single other person has watched it. And
Oops.
I'm really upset about that. But
I'll watch it when I go to see Mandy. Well, should I say one before the other, or just...
nah, it doesn't matter. Black Rainbow is all on YouTube for some reason. Like the whole movie's just there. I don't know why. But you can
Okay,
just-
alright, fuck it.
But they're pretty different. They're pretty different, but they also have similarities. And it's
Okay.
talking about soundtracks. These are the two movies soundtracks I listen to. They have banging soundtracks.
Nice.
True that.
So that's your movies?
There was one more though, because there's three.
Hereditary.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think we talked about it recently.
We
about
did.
it
We've
before.
The
talked
whole
about
thing where I was like, didn't really agree with the statement about
Yeah, but
having agency, and the movie kind of added to me. It was like,
Yeah.
kind of shut the fuck up. And I was like, fuck.
Cause this.
why?
And I was
you
decide-
go. It's your turn.
Yeah, so when I was thinking about that stuff, basically my idea was, end of the year's coming up. I'm going to have to decide whether or not this compromises the movie and whether or not it goes near the top of my list. And I decided in the end that it does stay near the top of my list, because even if I disagree with this whole thing happening, the fact that it could make a clear statement and I could contend with it and we could discuss it and stuff is pretty cool.
Nice.
Also, the movie is like an
Incredible.
incredible production, genuinely upsetting, terrifying.
Genuinely upsetting is a
Yeah.
very good way.
All of it. Anyways, that's my three. Those are good three. Thank you.
I thoroughly support them. I kind of had to look at Quinn's because I kind of forgot how many movies came
I know,
out.
I forgot too.
In
Honestly, and
2018.
I keep all my tickets.
Like Black Panther.
Yeah. February. I know, right?
2018!
I know. I keep all my tickets to any movie I see. So like when we were doing this list, I like went through all of them and I was like, fuck me. Like holy shit.
For me, my number one pick is Avengers Infinity War. Because it's kind of a hot take for me.
That is a hot.
Because visually, astonishing. Visually astonishing work. Thematically, it is incredibly hard to write a good villain, and they nailed it. I think Thanos was awesome.
I have I don't know if we should go into this.
No, we can't. We really can't. We can't make this whole episode.
I'll have
about
the
Infinity
quickest
War.
take about Thanos.
Okay.
Thanos is a good villain. It's the way the movie treats him and presents him that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, he is the protagonist of the movie.
Yeah.
That's undeniable.
Yeah.
He is.
He is protagonist,
And that's fine. That's not even
The
like
more
a
I
judgment or
the
anything.
more I
That's just
see
a-
Infinity War, I've only seen it a second time now.
Mhm.
I see the grievances. It's the first time I was just kind of, and it's
It's like, oh, it's here. This
Oh
is
yeah,
Yeah.
It's absolutely one of those movies. The first time watching it, it is
You're just taken
entirely
aback.
daunting,
Oh,
Yeah.
and you come out of the movie.
Yeah.
For me personally, at least, like entirely impossible to have an objective take.
Oh yeah, you're
But-
just like astounded by all of this.
Yeah.
shit.
But-
Just the sheer number of events.
I
Yeah.
will say that Thanos as a character is incredible.
Mm.
As a character,
yeah.
he is incredible. Josh Brolin's performance as Thanos, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, yeah.
I will say his supporting cast, garbage.
Totally throwaway.
Oh,
Total
yeah.
throwaway.
They
World of
couldn't have
Warcraft
introduced
rejects.
more characters in the movie, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
already...
Like entirely understandable for why they're paper mache garbage that
Yeah.
appear and die in this movie with no emotional weight.
I mean, we needed toys.
Yeah.
But I put it at number one because it was something new in the MCU.
That's fair.
It wasn't superhero who has a ethical, political, moral,
Yeah. Something.
background.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a villain, and then that exacerbates that, and then he has the conflict internally and externally, and then you fight through that,
Yeah.
and you achieve victory. There was no victory in Infinity War.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about it.
They
Honestly.
lost.
It's just like you lose. Try again next time.
Incredible narrative work to have it be so successful that they would write it so that they lose.
Yeah.
Because that's what people were fearing.
Mhm.
They were fearing that
100%.
it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it did.
But I mean, realistically, can you imagine if someone did, like, if they wrote that movie to like actually end with like, "Yay, we did it"? That would be the biggest piss off ever. Be like, "Oh my god, he has all these stones. He could destroy everything." You can't just fucking dangle that in front of us without seeing it.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me? But you got fucking like
I totally-
you had like 10 years of this shit.
I
You
totally
can't just
understand
fucking be
that.
like, no,
Totally
fuck you.
understand that. Second pick.
Hold on, can we put a pin in Infinity War and do an Infinity War episode next episode?
Sure.
100%.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Second pick, completely different realm. Bad Times at the El Royale.
I still have to see that.
You know what?
El Royale.
And I totally forgot it came out this year because like with that and Baby Driver, like those are two movies that I would want to do as someone with like some sort of artistic passion. Like if I'm going to make a movie, I want to make a
like
movie
that.
like Baby Driver or Bad Times at the El Royale.
Nice.
Because visually, also incredible. Narratively, complex, engaging, dynamic.
The amount of turns in this
The
movie.
amount of turns,
is-
but like, not like M. Night Shyamalan, blah, 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 blah.
No, all entirely consistent and logical.
Entirely consistent and key for character development
Yeah.
and execution of the very simple plot.
Mm.
You know? Right?
Oh yeah, like
Simple plot, but complex
the presentation
characters.
of the presentation and how information is revealed is like
Yeah.
top shelf.
Top shelf writing.
Mm.
Third pick, for anybody, like, Bad Times of the El Royale, not everybody's movie. Avengers Infinity War, not everybody's movie. A lot more than Bad Times at El Royale, but still not everybody's. Not everybody wants to go see.
Yeah.
Third pick, Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's movie.
Everybody's movie.
Fuck.
I
I feel bad for not having it on my list.
the cinema guy who's like, yo, this is incredible work. The kid that wants to go out and see a movie.
Mm.
The dudes that want to get high and go see a movie.
This movie's
Anybody can go see that movie and
Yeah.
leave saying, what a good time I had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And huge shout out to two movies that came out this year. that did soundtracks, but collaborative works. Black Panther, incredible collaborative work there.
Mm-hmm.
But, hot take, Into the Spider-Verse, better collaborative work than the Black Panther.
That is a hot take. That's spicy.
Yeah.
I will say the songs that are tight in the Black Panther soundtrack are toit.
Oh, absolutely.
The songs in Into the Spider-Verse are not as tight, but I find they're all they're good listens and you can engage deeper. But I find with Black Panther, it's...
I will say this, though, for the Spider-Verse soundtrack. The soundtrack is way more essential to the movie in Spider-Verse than Black Panther.
100%.
The Black Panther soundtrack is like a separate work
Yes.
entirely in a way.
Yeah, it is. 100%. But yeah, those are my top three.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hit us.
Spider-Verse.
Nice!
What?
Now, when I made a big-ass list, I did put the movies in order, and I thought long and hard about whether or not I put Hereditary or Spider-Man at the top. And it's kind of the same reason as Jacob. Spider-Verse, it's easily the most watchable movie of the year. It's like Baby Driver. I could watch it 100 times,
Anytime.
and I wouldn't like it any less.
Yeah.
Like,
John, you're gonna be disappointed when you go
I
see it
better
now.
be.
After
I
hearing all
fucking
this.
better not. Like, I'm gonna go see fucking Spider-Verse and be like.
and that's the
fuck?
thing. Like, in the year where like the biggest movie was Infinity War, huge bummer. My second top pick, Hereditary.
Literally the most soul-crushing
Heart-shattering
movie I've
bummer.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. Every moment, just huge uplift,
Yeah.
huge upswing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so stylistic,
Made
but
2018
so
worth
easy
it.
to put in your eyes, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And like, the cast, shout outs to the cast again, Nick Cage as 30 Spider-Man,
Amazing.
amazing.
John Mulaney as the pig. The pig
Spider-Ham. It's
Spider-Ham. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
And Nick from New Girl being Peter Parker.
That was,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's good.
That guy's...
I mean,
how-
as like a New Girl fan, yeah, huge
Yeah.
home run for me. And seeing him in Tag came out this
Oh,
year.
Tag.
I can't believe
What a
Tag came out this year.
stupid movie, but
That
like,
movie fucking rules.
It does. It
But-
does. Absolutely.
So what's your second
but
pick?
it's refreshing. It's a refreshing.
My
movie.
second
But
pick
it's- yeah.
gotta be Hereditary.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, there are a few horror movies that legitimately stick with you for the rest of your life.
Hereditary,
And this is one of them.
Oculus.
Ooh.
Oculus, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those
Like-
are my top 2 horror movies ever.
Yeah, they're really good.
I might save this for the end for a bonus shout out, but like this and Haunting of Hill House, they have like these like big spook moments in them that I think about almost daily.
Yeah.
When I'm in the situation that's like when it happens, and my brain is like, remember that thing?
Oh god.
Like,
I'm really happy we never picked TV shows
it is a
because
But like I haven't really watched that many new TV shows.
No,
yet.
and that's the thing.
Well,
I
my
don't-
thing was like, how do I even find all? Because I'm not gonna remember them all.
no, exactly.
All right, hit your third. Do it.
hit my third. All right. Oh, before I move on from Hereditary, quick shout out Toni Collette putting in like performance of the year. That
Oh, yeah. The
holy
mom in
fucking
Hereditary.
shit.
It was so impressive. I didn't know what emotion I was feeling, whether it was
Yeah,
arousal,
like,
pride, or joy.
Yeah, just like what?
and she
What a
totally
performance.
acts circles around the rest of the cast.
Oh god, yeah.
But like, god damn, you can't help but like feel for her. Like she
Yeah.
is trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Uh,
What a performance.
my third pick. I'm doing Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
That is the like. It has this cinematic movie aesthetic. It only works as a movie. It embraces the medium so hard.
Oh yeah. Didn't even think about that part. Like that wouldn't work anywhere else.
You know? Yeah. And like the cast, you know, like Jeff Bridges, John Hamm, and like
And
two
John Hamm.
dudes that have like really classic Hollywood vibes.
Yeah.
And you know, the movie's like it's in the 60s, it's got this retro vibe, the music in it. Like oh man. But like it is dense. and
Yeah.
it is in a way inaccessible.
It
But,
is.
like,
It is pretty inaccessible, but it works the it's worth it.
it
When
works
you
the
can access
excess a lot. And
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, his American accent surprisingly believable.
it. And a very interesting character.
Yeah, I think it was a really good use of like in
Yeah.
kind of taking a step back of Chris Hemsworth and like what people associate with him as a casting choice.
I don't think Chris Hemsworth is a good actor. Truthfully, I don't think he's a good actor.
No. He doesn't
I
have
think
much
he's
range at all.
I think he's a good actor. I don't think he's great, but this performance was like
It's like, oh,
it like it
like who's
used
that kind of?
used
Yeah.
what he's good at,
Yeah.
but also turns it on its head. It, like
True. Yep.
man,
Also a great use of John Hamm, I thought.
yeah, great use
Yeah.
of John Hamm and
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges. Man, dude
What a
is
legend.
a treasure.
What a
Dude
legend.
is a straight up treasure.
You know what? Old guy didn't get 2017.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Apparently he won a Lifetime Achievement Award last night at the Golden Globes, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
What a dude.
All my picks were already picked, but man, those are just the ones.
None of the picks so far are even on my list.
Nice.
Awesome.
I had a weirard year of movies. Man.
Super quick shout out to A Simple Favor. That movie just rules.
Still
Anna
not.
Kendrick, Blake Lively, stupid hot, all visual.
I listed it in my list. I was putting little notes by all the things, and I listed A Simple Favor. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I was like, nice.
Hit it, Johnny.
In no particular order, Pacific Rim Uprising. Leave me alone.
Nice. No, I respect that.
That
You're
was
that
on my
one guy.
list. That was on my list of
You're the one they
because
talk about.
my list of movies I saw was 34 long. The list of movies I missed was 16.
And that was one
That
of
was
them.
one of them.
Because the movie showed up in theaters and was there for 2 weeks because apparently it bombed so
Yeah,
bad.
I
And
meant
was
to
like,
see it. I was
Man, what?
Oh, I knew it was gonna bomb. There was no momentum for a kaiju movie this year. At all.
Was
Fuck.
there momentum before?
Pacific
There was
Rim and
in the-
Godzilla both
There
came out
was in
the same year.
1955 when Godzilla
Not
came
in
out.
2014 with Godzilla and the first
I
Pacific
had
This year though? Ha!
I have to admit that the new take on Godzilla, I really enjoyed that.
I did like that too. Chubby Godzilla, he was good.
Chubby Godzilla was baller.
Oh, shout out for a 2017 movie I missed that we saw this year, Kong Skull Island. That
Oh,
movie is
yeah.
bonkers good.
Oh yeah, it's insane. I
man.
didn't think a King Kong movie could be that
Dude,
good.
I brought it over. Like, we sat down and I was like, you guys haven't seen Skull Island? They're like, no. I'm like, you have to fucking watch this.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
gotta
While I'm doing these random ass shout outs, Overlord. Because we all saw
Yeah!
that
That one's on my list!
Oh, it's on the
together.
That
Yeah,
one's
man,
on
that
my
movie
list.
fucking rips.
That
Yeah,
is-
dude.
it
Overlord
does
was just
rip.
fun as hell. Overlord was fun as hell. Venom, fuck the credits, man. Venom was great.
You
enjoyed
know
Venom?
what?
I liked Venom.
Really good.
Yeah, I
There's a
liked
lot I
Venom.
liked about Venom.
Predator. The Predator.
Dude, that movie was sick.
Like, we went into that movie and I was like, you know what? This isn't even gonna be good. And you know what? Everyone in the movie was like, we're not doing this for an award. This is just gonna be fun.
It's kind of like
So much
Overlord.
fun.
It's just a good time.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what?
a
It's
great
just
time.
outrageous.
I don't know if I brought this up when we were watching the movie, but the main guy that's like the head honcho in the movie, not the guy that's like the narrative guy, the white guy, the white blonde guy.
Yeah.
That's the cohort in 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
I think we were
Shout
watching
out
that
to
and
that
Craig pointed
guy.
out the other
Yeah,
day.
Right? Like that's range.
Fucking,
Yeah.
and you know what?
He
While
was good.
While I'm on about
Yeah.
Pacific Rim Uprising, fucking Rampage. Because I love Dwayne The Rock Johnson and no one can stop me, okay? I fucking, listen, I'm not saying the man's ever gonna win a fucking Oscar.
He never will.
He never will.
No.
But if you want to have a good fucking time,
Cast
pop
Dwayne
one of
The
his
Rock.
movies on, okay?
Absolutely. Is
Like-
Rampage based on those video games?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I had a Rampage game for Wii.
Man, like, it's so
It was
much fun.
Sick.
It's so much fun. And, like, it's so good. Like, even like just the interactions between like Dwayne and just the monkey
Yeah.
is so good. It's so wholesome.
Again,
Like the
he
first
is not,
time you see him.
like Chris Hemsworth, he is not a great
No,
actor.
absolutely not.
But I love seeing him on
Yeah.
I
screen.
freaking love him.
Absolutely.
I freaking love seeing his dumb face.
Yeah, no, it's so good. His big bald, beautiful head. I
What
love
was
him.
that movie Skyscraper? Was that good?
I think that was
It was
donkey
alright.
balls. I
It
heard.
was alright. It was
I don't know, something about you twirling that head and just be like, what the fucking donkey ball.
It was all right. It was Die Hard again. So I wasn't
Yeah,
a fan
I got a lot
of
of
that.
Die Hard, but-
I was just kind of a fan of like, and I was if anything, I was more mad about in Skyscraper was the fact that they made the fact that like he has one leg, he has a prosthetic leg in that movie. They make it out to be like that's going to be a big deal and a big hindrance to him. It never is really.
I mean, he's still Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. And it's kind of, you know what? No offense. It's kind of hilarious to see him like big beefy man and just like one part of his leg is just kind of small.
So your tentative pick Pacific Rim.
Sorry, yeah, Pacific.
Overlord,
It was Pacific Rim.
and
Pacific Rim. Mission Impossible Fallout was another
that was
good one.
sick.
I just
when
picked
Henry
a couple
Cavill
different
reloads
ones.
his fist.
Yes.
Yes.
And his beard explodes. And he's wearing a different shirt.
One of the top moments of 2018
Like,
movies.
If I
gotta be.
if I ever get in a fight, I'm reloading my fist.
Yes. Absolutely.
That the other dude would shit their pants. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"What is he doing?"
I remember we fucking laughed about that in the trailers. And then we like saw like the deep dive of like, wait a minute, his beard got fucking thicker, and he's
his-
wearing a different shirt.
Like his shirt grows a pocket since
Yeah.
a jump cut.
Because did you
Is
notice
it a jump
you know
cut?
what it is?
Oh, it is a
It's a
jump
jump
cut.
cut. He goes, and his beard is thicker, and his shirt doesn't have a pocket anymore. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
It is so funny and so bizarre.
It's so good. We'll show
Just
you a
in
gif
the
afterwards.
perfect
You
way.
see it, and it's like his beard just goes, and it's
I
like
don't-
more
I
hair.
don't think I could like physically. Well, again, it's Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
Like, goddamn.
I mean Geralt of Rivia, soon to be anyway.
Oh yeah.
that's gonna be a.
I
odd
can't
there.
wait because I'm a big fan of The Witcher, and it
I only
looks-
played Wild Hunt. What a game!
What a game!
Two but it was actually. That's a.
You almost don't even need to play any other ones though. Like
Yeah.
Wild Hunt was enough.
Yeah.
It was
I've
still
heard
All
good.
right, we gotta go to game. Let's gotta
Go to
get the
game?
game.
Video game.
One.
Alright.
It has to be one.
Why
It has to be one.
Oh, what?
Defend.
Is it because you only
One.
have one? You
No,
can
I
just
have
say
I
it.
have a few.
It's because
I have a few.
one.
Is it because of time?
No, I just want one good defense for one game because we could go for a long time. about
Okay,
it.
that's fair. Mine's obviously Celeste, because Celeste is incredible.
Okay.
I think I talked about it already on the pod. I said in the Facebook post as a one unified artistic experience, a bring together of music, visual design, narrative, and gameplay, all to serve one message that is heartwarming and challenging. I love it.
Nice. I like it.
Wholesome.
Jacob,
Wholesome
what
and
about you?
concise.
What do you got?
My pick is an actual Game of the Year winner, God of War.
Nice.
Wow, cool.
An actual
I like how you
winner.
slowed down there.
It was nominated and won.
But I have a lot of thoughts on God of War because I played the first God of War like a little bit like when I like played the third one first. I went back and played like the first two. I was like, yeah, it's like nothing remarkable. But I played the third. Really liked the third because like the character was so powerful
Yeah.
and demonstrative and just overwhelming. And then it ends. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man? But
Imagine being invested 2 games in and then doing that.
exactly. Right?
Me.
But then we get to God of War and
It's all
What?
gone.
it's
Like
all
like
gone.
minute 1, it's all gone.
And you know what? I love it.
Yeah. Minute 1, you're cutting a tree down. You're putting it on a boat.
And it's
You're going on a boat.
one shot.
Yeah, just all
Yeah.
one go. It's like to give you some just to give you some hindsight to it all. The first game literally starts with you already being a god of war, killing everything in your path. The second game starts with you still being the god of war after the events of the first game, killing everything in your path. The third game also starts off with you in hell, killing everything in your... And this one, everyone's like, oh, fuck, what's gonna happen? And it's just quiet, serene, he's cutting a tree down, Atreus is with him.
He's got a beard now.
She's got a big beard, he's really chilled out, and you're like,
What the hell?
Dad of War.
fuck, what happened?
And you know what? It was also very powerful for me because one of my good friends became a dad this year. Right? And I look at him and I think, you know, that's my blood. I don't think of him as being a dad.
Yeah.
Right? And I watched a lot of videos on YouTube about content creators that are fathers and talking about, how it deeply impacted them being fathers.
Yeah.
Right? Watching that relationship unfold and how it's a struggle in fatherhood to connect to your kids emotionally and be honest and be vulnerable like that.
Yeah.
But to see this violent, hyper-masculine character actually achieve that is inspiring and uplifting and challenging and all these things. But it's also just a good game.
There's so many times in that game where like you're watching it and you're like, it's kind of like with like when you watch The Punisher for the first time and you're like, when's he gonna do it? When's he just gonna fucking lose it and just go nuts and kill everything?
Yeah.
But you see Atreus do it more. You see, like, he gets mad and he takes, like, an arrow and he's screaming and he's, like, stabbing a thing. And Kratos is just like, fucking chill out, calm down, look at me. And you're like, you're the worst person to be telling this. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. But for me, it was...
It's like, apple does not fall far from the tree. That kid fucking loses his shit.
It was very narrative-based, but I appreciated the narrative more because it was set inside, like, my favorite genre of game, like in an open world and Norse
mythology
and a progression system that was very rewarding. But the narrative can also be lost in those games, but they made it a focus and they killed it in my opinion, and they made me invest in the villains.
There's a thing in that game that a lot of games are starting to do now too, and I like that. And I'm not sure if I'm liking it, but it's very hard to do. It's the downtime between what you're doing. So, like, anytime you're on the way somewhere, there's someone talking, like, they're having a conversation, like, they're kind of, like, building on our characters, and that's good sometimes. Like, it's good to have those moments, but there's other games where, like, one of the games on my honorable mentions is Shadow of the Colossus for PS4. And it was weird for me playing that because I played God of War first before I played that one, and I've played Shadow of the Colossus 100,000 times over. It doesn't matter. But I've played so many games where, like, anytime you're, like, going from point A to point B, there's always, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, like, world building or conversation happening or something like that. But in, like, Shadow of the Colossus, nothing. Dead silence. All you have to think about is what you've done. And that is horrible. Because you're just like, I've killed 15 of these fuckers.
Nice.
I'm going to kill another one. And, like, you see it on your character, like, his fucking robes are tattered, and even in God of War, like, he is fucked up.
He's fucked.
Like,
he's
there's
old.
Like, he's old! Exactly! The man's old! Man! Old man Kratos! God damn!
Honorable mention to the score and the narrative execution of the score. There's, like, very few times I remember experiencing video games and their score. I remember it with Skyrim, which is my favorite game of all time. I remember it, what's the other game? Shit. But my second moment with video games and a score is God of War, and that's when Atreus enters the cabin and he's performing the rites for his mother. And the door opens to the scene and the camera turns to Kratos and we see his what is the word I'm looking for? Like, it's not shadow, but it's the
his silhouette.
We see his silhouette and then this growling bass.
Yeah, because it's like the first real good look of him you get.
Exactly.
Most of it's just like on the side.
It's besides like that part and like, but you get the ominous. It's like, yo, like we started off really calm.
Yeah.
We said, like, this is still Kratos.
Yeah,
like,
this is still the motherfucker. Yeah.
It's Kratos.
One of the things they did in that game really well, actually, was, like, I mean, obviously you have these games that they have so many fantastical elements, like, Kratos jumping 8 million feet in the air, fucking falling from Mount Olympus to the fucking floor. Everything in this game is very grounded to a point where, like, Kratos is just like, he's hitting people with an axe, like he's fucking killing people, whatever. It's like, that's fine, but that's almost like you could see someone doing that anyway. And then you get to points where, like, Kratos just, like, fucking nails like, full power punch a dude through
someone through a mountain.
and you're like, oh fuck yeah, I forgot. He could totally do that.
I forgot.
Yeah, like right in the beginning when
Like full
when he
of
sees
Sarah's wrath.
like
Yeah.
straight up, like right in the
Yeah.
beginning when he sees
Balder.
Balder,
Yeah.
and he's just like, you should leave here, and he's just like, get away from my cabin,
I
and he
warned you.
smokes Kratos like through the fucking cabin into the backyard, and I'm
And-
like, whoa, I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
I forgot they could do that.
Yeah. But you know what? Just
This cell is almost making me want to play the game.
It's really good.
I would, as your friend, I think you would be compelled to write something very creative after playing God of War.
Well, now you
That's
have
a
to.
good.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's a satisfying game to play because like the combat, it's so gritty
Yeah.
and
It's
rewarding,
engaging.
and it's
engaging,
it's
which
so-
is weird because all the other games were literally just mash the buttons and like you have the whips, so you don't really have to
It's
try and
interesting.
hit
The game
anything.
almost sounds like it indirectly dunks or at least like critiques what it used to be.
No, and that's the weird thing is
But
that
it
it
says
does.
here,
It's a complete
here we
reversal.
were, and we mastered, the button mash, the satisfaction
Yeah.
there of just having the power.
Mhm.
But we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do it better.
Yeah, they're
Which
like
is
we're gonna
just like-
we're gonna literally flip everything upside down on what we didn't do, except we're gonna do it now, and now it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
holy fuck!
It's like big dick energy. That's
it
all
really
it
is.
It's like, you know what? We figured out one gameplay mechanic. We're gonna go in and do another one
Mhm.
2 times better.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
Honest to God, really good.
Go.
Celeste, man.
Oh yeah.
Frig right off.
Here's-
So
okay.
good, though. So this is free on Xbox.
Here,
by the way.
I'll deep dive on Celeste because I know you'll appreciate it.
Okay.
2018 was a personally disastrous year for me. This game,
Yes.
not joking, helped me cope because this game is about mental health
Amazing.
It's true.
and overcoming obstacles by kind of accepting like the shitty things that have happened to you and like the parts of yourself that aren't so great and like finding a way to work with those to become a better person. I
Awesome.
cried at the end of this game.
Oh
I'm
wow.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like weird jump and dash pixel game, I cried at the end
That's
of it.
amazing.
Like,
Can I play it next time
I
we
am
hang
so
out?
in on playing
Very
God of
good.
War. It kind of sounds like the video game version of Logan.
Yeah.
Yo!
Which is sick. Logan fucking rips. Like,
Yeah.
Rips.
And like the best thing is about that, you don't even need to play the other ones. You just have to
Yeah.
have a general idea.
But like
Yeah,
Celeste,
it's like know how the
Celeste was
characters
not
move.
only the game I liked the most, but it was absolutely the game I needed. And this year, that's like the only new game I played Smash, I played the new Mario Party a bit, but like this was the only game that like I sat down and I'm like, this is what I'm doing for like
Right.
the afternoon. Like this Saturday's a wash, I'm gonna play this game, and man,
Worth it. That's awesome.
it
Can I do a
was
little
ill.
bit extra on Celeste?
Absolutely.
I think besides being a game that you needed personally, I think it's a game that's good for just our moment in like video gameness.
Oh yeah.
So the genre it sits in, the challenging platformer, is one that's known for its punishing difficulty, obviously. And then with that comes a lot of expectations and stereotypes. Like if you think of Super Meat Boy, which, don't get me wrong, love Super Meat Boy. But it's just this personality of, fuck you, this game's hard, you're gonna die, blah.
Yeah.
And then you also kind of associate that with sort of the internet culture that it came from, of like dudes on the internet and they're all assholes to each other, online and all that. But in Celeste is this sort of, it lives in that space, but it's counter to that. It's like, it's challenging and radical in that genre by being a caring game. One thing the game does is it has these like sort of in the genre breakthrough accessibility features where you can, it's not just a difficulty slider, but you can tune the mechanics of the game to help you. So like you jump and get one dash, but you can set more dashes, you can set infinite dashes, you can set multi-jumping, you can set like slowdown maybe. There's a whole bunch of different parameters to help you do the game. And throughout the whole game, it's all very challenging, but it's encouraging. It's like
You can do
There
it.
was
You
a
can use
very easy but a very heartwarming moment early on for like one of the loading screens. It pops up this tip and it says, "Don't worry if you're dying a lot. It means you're learning." And honestly, that it was so early in the game, and I was like, it got me immediately. I was like, yeah, thanks. You know what? Like,
You're right,
like,
man.
You know, like, sometimes you're afraid that you suck at shit. And then here comes this game that's brutally difficult sometimes. And it's like, dude, if you're failing a lot, you're learning how to do it right.
Nice.
And it's,
Big ups to that.
And then at the Game Awards, when the guys were accepting the Independent Game of the Year for the game, the creator, Matt Thorson, he didn't say a whole lot, but one thing he said is that a lot of this game, like I guess even like Quinn saying, this game, people say that this game helped them get through a lot of stuff and then they overcame it personally outside of the game. And he said, but you have to remember, you did that, we didn't do that. And that's sort of the whole message. Like it
Yeah.
I guess all it does really is give you some tools, but then it empowers you to do stuff.
Exactly.
Big ups. Big ups to that.
And I think it's something it's wonderful. I think it's sorely needed in video games, and especially in the space it occupies. I think the creators are also relatively online, and a lot of places online need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Big ups.
Love Celeste.
I like that. I like that pitch.
But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play God of War.
I think I might play Celeste when we hang out.
Yeah, man.
Friendship.
I play God of War too.
It's really good.
Not the second one. Though.
Alright, John, hook us up.
What'd you pick?
Bring us home.
Monster Hunter World.
Hell yeah.
You know what? I forgot. For a hot second there, I honestly
It
forgot.
came out in January.
But you know what, man? You
But
freaking
dude,
love it, and that's
you lived
what
it.
makes a game.
And here we are.
Love.
You've accomplished a stupid amount of things in that game.
God, I finished.
Everything.
No, I finished every single like optional. Like I did all the optional stuff recently.
So
actually,
everything that you don't have to do.
yeah, like all the optional stuff I did.
The
But
things
there's-
that they add in to make the game
No, I didn't do all those.
so long.
No, I didn't do those.
Okay.
Like I needed like the stuff that was in the vanilla based game. Like I finished, and I didn't have it done before because a lot of it's a lot of stupid fucking like just deliver quests, and I'm like I ain't about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like here, take an egg from the top of this mountain all the way down, and don't get hit by anything. Good luck, fucker. Have a good one.
Yikes. That's a lot.
But man, I don't know. It's just like let me paint a picture for you. Like you picked up this game, right? Like the first Monster Hunter I played. I'm just gonna paint a quick picture. First Monster Hunter I played was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for the Wii U because I just got a Wii U and I was like, I don't have any. There's no fucking games for this thing. There still isn't. There was never. And then they were like, here's Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I was like, okay, cool. I picked up this game for my Wii U. And I was like, okay, here. And these games, I shit you fucking not. Back then, it was like, you start up the game, and it's like, here's every fucking weapon in the game. Like, any of the starting weapons. Like, here's all the very first version of every single weapon type.
Wow.
Here you go, pick one. And it's like, which one should I pick? And it's like, I don't know. Well, which one's good for begin? I don't know. Just fucking pick one. And it's like, okay.
Wow.
I like, Switch Axe looks cool, I'll take that. Alright, go hunt. And it's like, how do I hunt? Figure it out. And I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm fucking struggling. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I hate this. Like, I move too slow. All of my attacks are big. Ugh. And I was like, fuck, like, this is so hard. But I've realized I love that. Where it's literally just like, I mean, let's be real, it's not that great for newcomers because it's just like, here you go. And then you hunt this thing, and then like you hit it a million times and it doesn't die, and you're like, where's its health bar? You don't have it. You just gotta hit it till it dies. But you get better at it because you're playing it and like, oh man, this monster's killing me. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I doing wrong? And then you realize you're hunting this thing, and then like the monster rears to do something, and you're like, it's gonna do this thing, and then you move out of the way, and then you dodge it, and you're like, oh shit.
Satisfying.
So you're satisfied now because you're like, oh, you're getting better at this now. And then you like hit the monster in the tail a couple times, and you cut its tail off, and you're like, whoa. Mm-hmm. And then like you hit it like in the head a couple times, you see like a piece of its like scales crack off, and you're like, oh shit, it's visual damage. Now I know how much I'm doing. And then sometimes it leaves the area and chose to try and run away, and like if it leaves, it might just like eat something. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm really getting this. I'm really getting it now. So then I
I asked my girlfriend to play with me, and then she's better at the game than me now. So, and that's pretty much what happened. It was like me and her would play Monster Hunter 3, and then when 4 came out on the 3DS, two of my other friends played with me. So it's 4 of us, and it's 4 in a party anyway for a hunt. So the 4 of us would always play it, and then imagine our surprise when they're like, "We're gonna put one on the console," and it's like, it looks fucking great, and you know you can have like everyone come together. So January came by last year. We all came over to my place. We had 2 TVs hooked up in the kitchen, and like my TV and like my girlfriend had a TV on like this desk when it was out there, and we all just sat there for the weekend and just fucking. It was so hunted. Good. Just hunted. It was so much fun. It's so satisfying, and like they're still adding stuff to the game, and it's just really fun and satisfying. And it's all I can say is just that it's just pure fun. There's only 2 quests I haven't done in that game, and if anyone has ever played it, it's a fucking tempered behemoth. Cause fuck that shit. It's just it's RNG based, and I don't care what anyone says to me. Long story short, you just it drops comets, and you have to hide behind it. And if you don't hide behind it fast enough, or if there's no comets left, you just die. That's it. You don't have any fucking choice in the matter. You just die.
That sucks.
And the second one, they had Arc Tempered, which was just like the super hard versions, and it was the Arc Tempered version of the final boss. They hit you once and you die. And it sucks. It's the only 2 hunts I haven't done, and they're optional, so I don't give a shit.
Nice.
But other than that, I really like that game. But, very high honorable mention, a game that I played last year, but it didn't come out in 2018. It came out in 1995, I'm pretty sure. It was Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
and that game's a fucking... Oh...
Yep.
I finished
Isn't
that game. You came over before pod and everything flipped upside down, and I was like, okay, I guess I just have to do the whole thing upside down now. Yeah. Pretty much. So I played that game all the way through and like finished everything on my Xbox, and I was like, I loved this so much. And I have a Vita now. I bought it again on my Vita for like $5. Yeah.
Yep.
I bought it on my Vita for like $5, and I was like,
did you play it? Did you play the bit of Rondo of Blood you have to play to unlock Symphony of the Night?
I had to.
Rondo of Blood's hard as fuck.
Yeah, but like, you know what? I've been playing so much Castlevania lately now. Like I felt like a goddamn master.
Cool. That's awesome.
It was great. But yeah, no. For me, it would have to be Monster Hunter World, and it won Best RPG of the Year. Because realistically, RPGs were not that great this year.
No,
it was a pretty slow. You know what? Honestly, like. It was a really slow year for RPGs, and Monster Hunter World technically shouldn't really have won that award. No. But seeing what RPGs actually did come out this year,
I don't think of it as I'd say it's RPG the same way they call Dark Souls an action RPG.
Yeah, no.
A lot of your description, by the way, I hate to say this, but sounded like describing Dark Souls.
What? Just satisfying?
Your experience of getting into it and being lost.
I'm very slow, and all my attacks are...
Yeah, well, and that's because I picked a weapon that was slow. I soon went to Dual Blades, which is like the fastest, but you do like no damage, but that's because you hit really fast. This makes sense.
DPS, man.
Exactly. And Michaela, my girlfriend, uses the hunting horn, so it's like slow as hell, but it plays buffs.
Oh yeah.
So you can play songs out of it. And, like, every single hunting horn looks different. Like, one looks like a fucking guitar. Cool. And one looks like... They all look cool, and they all look different, and they all make different sounds, so it's kind of funny. Like, some of them are, like, bagpipes, and, like, some of them are...
I like the way that Monster World seems to kind of just drop you directly in the middle of it. So
now,
the entire experience is sort of similar. Like, it's not trying to, like, gradually give you stuff. It gives you everything.
Now, Monster Hunter World, I don't say this as a dig on it, but it's Monster Hunter for babies. Because it's... I don't say it as a bad thing. I say it as like...
It's accessible.
Absolutely, it's 100% more accessible. Like, you start off and, like, they give you Sword and Shield right out the gate. Because they're like, this is a good starter. You don't have to keep this. But it's a good starter. And every time you go to pick a weapon, you can press Y. And it shows a little clip of, like, what they do. It shows like a little 3-star for difficulty rating, and it says like how the weapon works. Mm-hmm. So like longsword, they're like it's a weapon with long arcs, and like they have a lot of long hits, and like you can chain attacks really well, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But every other game is literally just like here's all the weapons, pick one, and they don't even tell you what they do. It's just like here's a longsword, It's like iron longsword, iron lance, iron sword and shield, iron dual, and you're like, okay. And then they're just like, okay, go hunt this. I'm like, where is it? And that's another thing too. You don't know where it is. So they drop you in a map, and it's like, go hunt the thing. It's like, where is it? Hunt it, fucker. Like, and you're like, okay. And hunting in the old games is literally just walk in every area until you find it. But in World, you literally, like, you find tracks. You see, like, scratches on the ground. You see, like, other things. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm actually finding the thing.
That's neat.
Hot take to end the pod, Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't deserve a Game of the Year nomination.
No.
Well, maybe a nomination.
I don't know anything about the game itself.
No.
It was okay.
It's a great movie, not a great game.
I've heard so many weird like people are just like, I like this thing about it, but I don't like this thing. This game's weird. I don't understand.
I think that's the thing about the game. The game is so huge. It's hard to
I've heard
have
something
It's
recently.
like a unified, like singular opinion on it.
Recently I heard of
to
a
live in the frontier. It
Yeah.
sucks to live in the frontier.
The frontier sucks.
Why the ass am I going to play a video game that simulates the frontier?
Forwards. Rootin', tootin', cowboy shootin'.
I saw a really weird take recently. There's apparently a guy who's a bird watcher who is obsessed with Red Dead Redemption 2 because the game has such deep bird mechanics that he bird watches in the game. And he's like, no game
Fuck
has
that
done
guy.
anything like this.
Fuck that guy.
That's like the fucking...
Yeah, but you see, like
But
that.
every
He
time
has
something like
not
that happens, you're like,
seen or been inside a vagina for about 25 years.
but you also have to think of how many like
Whoa.
hundreds of hours of development went into that.
I've got to full
I mean,
meltdown.
you're right. Like, not, like, both with, like, the amount of work that is just insane that's gone into it, and also the amount of content there to try to have a single opinion on the game as a whole. Like, is the game good? For bird watchers, yes.
It's like the
It's
guy
just
who
that
played
it's
Metal
so-
Gear Solid 5 and was just like, see, look, he's climbing over, he's crack climbing like a professional. It's like, what?
It's
You ever
kind
seen-
of how I feel about Smash Ultimate at times. There's so much to the game that I know I'm not going to experience. But even Smash Ultimate, at the end of the day, I can sit down 4 people on a couch and I play it and I have a great time. Which is kind
Absolutely.
of what I liked hearing about you describe your story with Monster Hunter. Like that great weekend of just like 4 friends
fuck.
getting all the gear and just playing a video game
So
together.
goddamn good.
That's 2019, my phrase. He has not seen or been near the genitals of his choice. Final hot take. Oh shit, it had something to do with what you said. Shit.
Was it about Red
Shit.
Dead Redemption 2 or just something I said?
Movie, album, game,
Can't.
Celeste.
Gone.
Final shout out,
God.
James A. Caster's Netflix comedy special.
Yeah,
Repertoire.
just go watch
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Just go watch it.
I watched it. The thing, you know, when you watch something by yourself, you're less likely to laugh. I was roaring.
Yeah. No, same.
You have to pay close attention because it is the most high level comedy I've ever
It is
seen.
high level
It's
comedy, but
High
it's
level
so
comedy,
worth it.
high level British,
Yeah.
and just
High-level
But
British.
man,
Slaps.
Yeah.
That was our of the year cast.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed. I guess this will just be a normal upload. We don't have a Patreon. We don't get paid.
If you give us money,
We will send it back.
I'll send you back more. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We'll do our best to link if we all post
Link in bio.
everything we've
Hey.
talked about, we'll link it.
Yeah.
Message us about any of these if you have your own hot takes.
Yeah.
And
tweet at us, boy.
ripped my second hot take that I just completely lost. And you know what? I'll forget that probably when we finish recording.
I bet you as soon as I hit stop, you're gonna be like, fuck, wait, put
Yeah.
it back on.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for our Avengers Infinity War episode.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my god.
In preparation for the end game.
Oh.
What we would call the end cast. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.